In this video, I'm going to share with you what happens if you test positive or found to be in close proximity of somebody else who tests positive for COVID-19. If so, do you go to quarantine or to isolation? And we're going to get to the bottom of this, and it starts right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Team Swartz. And if you're looking to learn more on how to join the United States Army, Army Reserve, or Army National Guard, or looking to get ready both mentally and physically for Army basic training, here on this channel, I post a ton of Army basic training, recruiting, and other Army related videos. So consider subscribing to this channel, hitting that bell icon, and turning on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Hi, I'm Sergeant First Class Swartz, your local New York Army National Guard's full-time recruiter and part-time drill sergeant. So if you are looking to learn more about the New York Army National Guard and how we can help you reach your goals, shoot me a text here, put me in boots to this number today to get started. So what happens if you test positive for COVID-19 at Army basic training or within close proximity, because I've been seeing and hearing all these comments about quarantine or isolation? So upon arrival to the reception battalion, you will be tested for COVID-19. And with that being said, if you test positive, you're going to go straight into isolation. If you are found to be within close proximity of somebody who tests positive for COVID-19, usually within 9 feet, you will go into quarantine. That is the difference. However, whether this is when you first arrive or throughout your basic training, Osut or AIT experience, this is pretty much what to expect. Both have separate facilities, whether you're in quarantine or isolation. So this is for parents and family members for their child or loved one who is going to Army basic training. If they are 17 years old, they will be mandated to contact their parent to let them know and to make them aware that they have in fact tested positive for COVID-19. Either they had it before leaving or contracted it on the way to the training site. And throughout training, that will still apply to include any injuries that one may sustain. However, if you are 18 years and older, by law, you are considered an adult, and due to HIPAA laws, the Army will not mandate the trainee to contact family or parents to make them aware that they tested positive for COVID-19 or if they've ever gotten injured. It is up to the trainee, but they will be afforded the opportunity to be able to phone home or to email, snail mail, what have you, okay? So just understand that. So you tested positive for COVID-19, so that means you're going straight to isolation. You will go to the isolation ward or barracks or designated facility. So while you're in isolation, to include quarantine, you will have around-the-clock access to both medical care and medical staff. You will have temperature checks throughout the day, 2 to 3 times daily, morning, afternoon, and before nighttime, before you hit the racks to get some sleep. While you're in isolation, you will have access to your cell phone to be able to communicate with your friends and family and to entertain yourselves. While you're in isolation, you'll have access to books to read, movies to watch. You'll be encouraged to go outside and to conduct personal physical training, or PT for short, to help you keep yourself physically stronger and to break up the monotony and not to lay up in your bed for the next 14 days, because that's how long isolation is. So make sure that you stay and remain active and communicate with your family and stuff like that. Obviously, while you're in isolation, you are going to maintain social distancing of 6 feet to continue wearing your mask and so on and so forth. There are 2 ways that you can get out of isolation, and that is to test negative twice consecutively of your COVID test within a 24-hour period, or to be asymptomatic and show 0 signs or symptoms of Rona in the next 10 to 14 days while you're in isolation. So now that you've been cleared of the Rona while you were in isolation, you will be reintegrated or sent to your basic training Osut or AIT experience. With that being said, if you're in a basic training environment and you tested positive up front, you will go to the beginning of yellow phase. However, if you were in yellow phase or controlled monitoring and somehow show signs or symptoms or test positive for COVID-19, you were in the 2nd week of your yellow phase, you will go to the beginning of your yellow phase. However, if you were in red, white, or blue phase of Army basic training or throughout the Osut experience, you will go to the beginning of that phase in a whole new company and battalion and continue your training from there with your new drill sergeants and trainees. So if you watch my previous yellow phase or controlled monitoring video and you watch that virtual town hall that the 2-star generals from the USAREC recruiting command and the IMT and Fort Benning post, they said that if you were in quarantine or isolation, that you're still going to graduate on time, and that is not the case. They are misinformed. There's a disconnect between the senior leadership and what's happening on boots on ground. So with that being said, if you are testing positive or end up going into isolation or quarantine, like I said, you will go to the beginning of the phase in a new platoon, and your basic training and AIT or however will be delayed 2 weeks. There's no way that you could make up 2 weeks worth of training with another platoon if you're stuck in quarantine or isolation for those 2 weeks. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. For more information about the current yellow phase at Army Basic Training, I put a card right up here for you to go watch and come on back and finish watching this video, or you can peep it down in the description area below. So the other thing that could happen is if you are in close proximity, usually 9 feet, of somebody else who tests positive for COVID-19 at any time throughout your training experience, is that you will go into quarantine. You will go into a separate facility. You will be in quarantine for 14 days, just like isolation. However, at the end of the 10 to 14 days, if you test negative or appear to be asymptomatic or show 0 signs or symptoms of COVID-19, as previously described, you will go to and be reintegrated into your training environment. Same rules applies. You will go to the beginning of the phase in which you just left to continue your training. So get your mind right, okay? You're about to start basic training, Osut, or AIT. Prepare yourself mentally so that when you get to the basic training site, understand that if you are in close proximity of someone else who tests positive, or if you in fact do catch COVID, you're gonna extend your training another 2 weeks. It sucks, I get it. But now that, because you've watched this video, you are mentally preparing yourself for it. So if it does happen, it's not gonna have as much of a negative effect mentally. People think that basic training is easier now with COVID. I think it is more difficult because of things like this. So stay tuned for my future video about your mindset while going to Army Basic Training amid the coronavirus pandemic. So if you do this and you get your mind right prior to leaving for Army Basic Training, it will make it more tolerable for you if you find yourself in that situation. As Nick Pace, my former MMA instructor, used to tell me, have a strong mind and your body will follow. So what are your thoughts? Let me know what you think down in the comment section if you agree with the strategy that the United States Army has developed when dealing with people who test positive for COVID or within close proximity of the Rona, okay, of the 14 days of quarantine and or isolation, depending on your situation. If you made it this far in the video, do me a favor, put a hashtag Team Swartz down in the comment section. Let me know that you are my real ride or die MVP. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If I don't see you down in the comment section down below, I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Hold up! Wait a minute. Like this video and follow me on social. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out one of my other videos right over here. Just pick one. They're pretty cool. I mean, I liked it. I mean, I was in it. Spoiler alert. I teach you something. Just saying.